Have you ever dreamed of making your own stained glass, but felt overwhelmed by the glass cutting, lead, and complicated tools? What if I told you there's an easy way to create beautiful, colorful, stained glass-like art for your windows without using any glass at all? In this tutorial, I'll show you how to make your own stunning stained glass-inspired designs with your cutting machine. We'll use black vinyl to mimic the lead lines, cardstock to add lots of color, and acetate to give it a glassy appearance. With my free designs, you can get that gorgeous stained glass look without the stress, sharp edges, or high cost. Hello everyone, Jennifer Maker here, and it's a beautiful day to layer vinyl, colorful cardstock, and acetate to create beautiful stained glass art. So let's get started making your very own stained glass art the easy and relaxing way. The first step is to get my free stained glass style files from my library. Head over to my free resource library at jennifermaker.com/758. Click Get a Password if you need one or enter the library. Then search for design number 758 and click on the project file to download everything you need to get started. If you're new to uploading files to Cricut Design Space, I have a free tutorial at jennifermaker.com/svgs to walk you through it step by step. In the SVG folder, you'll find 3 beautiful designs: a cardinal, a ladybug, and a floral bouquet that looks beautiful in any window. You'll also find a DXF folder with cut files for other machines, and a PDF folder with versions you can print and cut by hand. Choosing which design to start with is part of the fun, so pick your favorite and then upload the design you want to create to Cricut Design Space. You can use any of my free designs. Or you can create your own custom design in my Advance with Jennifer Maker program. In my members-only workshop, I show you how to choose the best images for creating stained glass designs, and then teach you how to make all the colored layers you need for a beautiful display. Here's how the flowers SVG looks on my Design Space canvas, but you can use these steps for any of the designs. If you want to resize your design, keep the lock icon closed and use the corner handles to shrink your pieces. Just don't go too small or you risk losing important details. Ungroup your layers and spread out your pieces. You'll have a black vinyl outline layer, 3 colorful cardstock layers for the frame, the pieces to your cardstock center design, and your back acetate layer. We'll hand trim our front layer of acetate, so make sure to set aside an extra sheet for it. To match a frame or centerpiece's colors to the cardstock you'll cut it from, select it, click the color box, and choose an option for easy reference. I like the original color, so I'll click Undo to restore it. Once your size and colors are set, your layers are ready to cut, so select your machine and click Make. On the Prepare screen, set your material size to 12 by 12 inches for each mat. If you want to save materials, you can combine mats of the same color onto a single mat. Simply click a piece you want to move, click the 3 dots, and select Move Object. Then select a different mat of the same color that has space for the piece and click Confirm. Make sure none of your pieces overlap. Do this for as many pieces as you need. Sometimes pieces overlap when moving them. If 2 pieces are in the same spot, or you don't see the piece you just moved, drag them apart into their own spots. You can use a piece's rotate handle to adjust it on the mat too. When your mats are set, click Continue. On the Make screen, select your first cardstock mat and set the base material to the medium cardstock setting with more pressure for cleaner cuts. For mats that have the same material type, you can check the box for Remember Material Settings to save time during cutting. Place your cardstock on a green standard grip machine mat and then use a brayer to press it down evenly. Check that your premium fine point blade is clean and in the clamp. Press the flashing load button to load your mat, then press the flashing middle button to begin cutting. Once it finishes, check that the cuts went all the way through before unloading. If you have any issues with your cuts, go to jennifermaker.com/cleaner-cuts. Unload your mat, flip it over, and gently peel it back away from your cardstock to prevent curling and tearing. Use a spatula to lift delicate parts and a weeding tool to poke out any small bits stuck in the cuts. Repeat these steps for all your cardstock mats, using a scraper tool to clean away stuck bits of cardstock between each cut. Next, select your acetate mat. Set the base material to acetate with more pressure. Remove the protective film from one side, then place the unprotected side face up on your mat. Use your brayer again to smooth it out and load it into your cricut to cut. Once it's cut, leave the protective film on the other side for now to prevent damage during assembly. Lastly, select your black vinyl outline mat. Use the value vinyl setting with more pressure. Use a paper trimmer to trim your vinyl down to a 12 by 12 inch sheet. Then place it carrier sheet side down on the machine mat. Secure it with a brayer, then let your cricut work its magic. When your vinyl is cut, keep it on the mat. Use your weeding tool to carefully peel away the extra background vinyl. Then poke the tool into smaller sections, like a flower center, and gently lift it away to remove excess vinyl. Continue to weed until all that is left is your design. Leave the weeded decal on your machine mat. Next, cut a piece of transfer tape slightly larger than your vinyl design. Remove the backing and pat it on a cloth to reduce its stickiness. Apply the tape to the decal using the taco method. Curve it into a taco shape, lightly press the center down, and smooth outward with your scraper. I recommend using an XL scraper if you have one. Burnish it down well, then flip the mat over and roll it back to release the vinyl design with the transfer tape attached. Grab the sheet of uncut acetate and organize all your cut pieces into neat piles. Now your layers are ready for assembly. We'll work with the vinyl outlines layer and uncut acetate first. Tape a green machine mat to your workspace to keep it from shifting. Place the uncut acetate on the mat and remove the protective film from the top. Carefully center your vinyl design with the carrier sheet on top of the acetate. Then secure the vinyl layer to the mat with a piece of painter's tape down the middle, creating hinged sections on the left and right sides. Curl back the right side of the vinyl layer, peel away the carrier sheet, then use scissors to trim it away. Be careful not to scratch the acetate. Now hold the transfer tape taut over the right side of the acetate and carefully apply the vinyl onto the acetate's right side with your scraper. Work in small sections from the center out, burnishing up and down toward the edges to help prevent bubbles. Once the vinyl is in place on the right side, fully burnish it down onto the green mat, then remove the painter's tape from the center. Peel away the remaining carrier sheet on the left side, then apply the vinyl to the left side the same way. Next, peel the transfer tape away, rolling it parallel to the surface to prevent the vinyl from lifting. Then use your finger to push out any air bubbles in your vinyl. Remove the tape around the mat, then flip the mat over and roll it back to release the acetate. Next, grab your paper trimmer, extend the guide arm, and lift the guide ruler. Place your acetate sheet face up with the vinyl edge lined up with the guide's top edge and the cut groove, but not over it. Hold the acetate in place and lower the guide ruler. Then hold the ruler in place with your fingers away from the blade. Slide the blade straight down in a smooth motion. Then do the same to trim the other 3 sides. Next, lay your acetate and vinyl layer on a self-healing cut mat and place the tip of a weeding tool where your hanging hole is cut from the vinyl. Carefully pull the frame upward to poke a hole in the acetate. Be sure to keep your fingers out of the way. Now it's time to assemble your layered cardstock pieces. Each design is a little different, so watch carefully. For the flower design, pair up your flower pieces into 3 sets. If you use the same colors as me, you'll have teal on top of yellow for the top flower, red on top of yellow for the bottom left flower, and yellow on top of red for the bottom right flower. Place the pairs into their spots on the green bottom frame to make sure everything aligns correctly. Now take your first flower pair and flip the top piece over. Apply thin lines of glue all over the back, then flip it back onto its bottom piece, keeping the edges aligned. Press and smooth to adhere the layers. Gently wipe away any excess glue with a paper towel or your finger. Do the same for the other 2 flower sets. Position your flowers on the bottom frame layer using the outer edges for alignment. Then glue them into place. Now stack your frame layers in order, teal on top of green and yellow on top of teal, with the holes at the top lined up. If you use different colors for your frames, make sure you can see the gems around the edges. Flip over the top 2 layers like you're turning book pages. Using your craft glue's precision tip, add thin lines of glue to the middle frame layer's outside edges, inner frame, and small connecting pieces. Work quickly but carefully before the glue dries. Flip the teal frame layer onto the green frame layer using the frame's top hole, edges, and corners for alignment. Then press down and smooth to adhere them. Wipe away any excess glue. Do the same to add the yellow frame layer on top. The Ladybug design goes together similarly, with 2 layers for each of the center pieces. Glue the red Ladybug piece onto its white piece and the orange flower onto the red flower. Then align and glue them to the bottom frame layer and add the top and middle frames just like before. For the Cardinal design, glue the centerpiece together, 1 layer at a time. Green layer on the bottom, then orange layer, then white, then red on top. Then the assembled layers are glued to the bottom brown frame layer, and the rest of the frames are glued on top 1 at a time. Now it's time to combine your vinyl and acetate layer with your cardstock frame layers. Place your front acetate piece vinyl side down and your assembled cardstock layers face up beside it. Peel the protective film layer off the bottom side of the acetate. Apply thin lines of glue to the back of the acetate sheet, following the vinyl outlines. You won't be able to wipe away excess glue, so use your precision tip. Carefully flip your acetate with vinyl face up and align it on top of your cardstock layers so the color stays inside the black outlines, pressing gently to adhere it in place without shifting. Once it is secure, peel the remaining protective film off of your back acetate layer. Flip your assembled vinyl and cardstock layers face down. Add craft glue to the bottom cardstock layer's outside edge only. Place the back acetate sheet onto the cardstock, aligning the edges, then press and smooth to adhere them. Now flip your project face up. Cut a 12-inch piece of finishing tape. Hold the tape horizontally and apply it straight across the bottom edge of your project, so its top edge aligns with the vinyl's top edge. The tape's bottom half should drape below the acetate, but not stick to your work surface. Then flip the project face down and fold the tape's other half onto the back of your project. Trim away the excess tape at the left and right edges. Then repeat these steps to apply finishing tape to the other edges. Just like before, use your weeding tool to poke a hole through the finishing tape where your hanging hole is located. Then cut a piece of yarn or string about 9 inches long. Insert a needle threader through your project's hanging hole. Place the yarn's end through the threader's loop and pull the threader back through the hole, carrying the yarn with it. Remove the threader and tie the ends in a knot to create your hanger, and trim away any extra yarn for a clean finish. Your stained glass project is now complete. Hang it in a sunny window to show off your beautiful work. Look at how absolutely stunning these paper stained glass designs turned out. They look great just hanging on the wall, but I like to hang them in the window so they can dance in the sunlight. And they're a lot easier to care for than traditional stained glass too. All you need to do is wipe them with a soft dry cloth if they get a little dusty. And if you want to learn how to make a version that looks the same from the front and back, I have directions on my blog at jennifermaker.com/758. This tutorial was a frequent request from our members, and some sleuthing revealed that designer Cindy Duke popularized these gorgeous projects in recent years. If you'd like to see more of Cindy Duke's beautiful designs, you can search Cricut Design Space for her name to find her profile. Now, our project goes together a bit differently than hers do, as we wanted to emphasize simplicity and ease, but I want to be sure to give her credit for this lovely idea. And don't forget, along with a special template and toolkit in my advanced program, you get access to tons of exclusive resources, handy cheat sheets, and special workshops to help customize your projects and make them uniquely yours. Head over to jennifermaker.com/advance to find out more today. And are you in need of a Cricut cutting machine to make your stained glass with paper creations? I do a regular giveaway over on my blog at jennifermaker.com/Cricut giveaway. Get all the details and enter for your chance to win. And remember to share photos of your stained glass creations in our Facebook group at jennifermaker.com/Cricut Crafters. And that's it for today. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.